Welcome to Mohawk Mountaineers basketball on M-Link. Tonight we're at the David Braley Athletic and Recreation Center for a matchup between one of the better teams, tied for second in the Western Division, and the lowest and last place team in the West. Sadie Martin alongside Nick Birnie and the 9-3 Mohawk Mountaineers women's basketball team going up in an 0-11 Cambrian College team tonight. So, Sadie, a bit of a lopsided affair. What can we expect from both clubs?
Yeah, I think we can kind of predict how this game's going to go. It would be an upset if Mohawk didn't win this game tonight. If they didn't win this game, that would bump them down from their second place slot and wouldn't put them in the best place for their playoffs. So they're definitely, even though this should be an easier game for them, they still have to push hard because it's easy to get into that laxy-daisy kind of gameplay. Looking at what their last game went, they played against Fanshawe. The score was 61-50, and we had Jen Genabella re-enter the game. She was off on an injury, and she played awesome. She had 19 points, 4 steals, and 3 assists, so that was really great to see. And on kind of the Cambrian side of things, we're watching them warming up. There's only 6 girls. So though they are 0-11, this is a very young team and they're still growing. Most of their team consists of first and second years. So this is definitely a building year for them, and hopefully, they give Mohawk some competition.
I will say we don't expect a whole lot from Cambrian tonight. Only about 6 or 7 players that will be starting. They do have one major starter, her name Carly Marcotte, who did have 23 points in their last game, which was unfortunate, plus 80-point loss. We are now going to go down to the sideline and get a little word in from Christine Midgley. Christine.
Thanks, guys. I had a chance to sit down with Coach Duffy before the game. His team is looking incredibly strong. They're coming in off of 2 wins. Their momentum is building and their intensity is up. Not only that, but the team is getting healthy. This game marks the return of Shannon O'Neill, a key Mohawk player. She's definitely going to be the one to watch this game. Now, the only issue could be if Mohawk gets too comfortable playing a team like Cambrian. This team is currently on an 11-streak loss. So Duffy says as long as the Mountaineers focus on their own game instead of the other team, they'll be good. Execute those presses, work on the defensive rotations. Hopefully we'll have a good game to watch. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Christine. Now we're going to take a look at tonight's starting lineups for the Mohawk Mountaineers and Cambrian College. So, starting for the Cambrian roster, we have Kelsey Trowbridge, Aurora Delaney, Michaela Alloway, Emily Jokias, and Carly Marcotte, who is one of our major players to keep an eye on tonight. And for the Mohawk Mountaineers starting 5, Caitlin Arbor, Karina Brown, Jen Genabella, Steph Rymack, and Monica Batnick. We are underway from the David Braley Athletic and Recreation Center, and Mohawk with a quick start and drive to the basket. And within seconds, Jen Genabella makes herself known.
And looking at that Fanshawe game, Abella had a great game, so I'm sure we'll see another one of her great games tonight. It was a good way to start it anyways.
Ball brought forward by Cambrian, and a long 3 finds the back. Alloway from way out. And right back down the court, Steph Rymack with a quick jumper in and out for Mohawk, but they regain possession. Abella from the top. She runs the offense, but her play down low finds itself out of bounds.
So to start this game, Cambrian's actually winning right now against Mohawk. So.
Something they probably haven't done all year. But a little quick down low play out of the inbounds, and Mohawk retaking the advantage. Ball in the hands of number 12, Carly Marcotte, the top scorer for Cambrian. And there's a bit of an up and down and a travel.
And we saw that Mohawk already had a pressure on right away. So I think that's just about Mohawk not getting too comfortable. You want to get the lead ahead enough, and then they might pull off the press. But I know Duffy wants them to compete today.
Ball down low. Brown goes back up with it strong. The rebound falls, and Arbor able to put it back in. So Mohawk, after surrendering that 3, 2 straight possessions with points and a couple stops and a 3-point advantage. And now another turnover from Cambrian, and quickly Mohawk running, Brown across, Rymack to the hoop, and she will earn herself 2 shots from the foul line.
So far, I think Mohawk's playing up to their level, though. It looks like they're competing and they're taking the ball hard, and Cambrian's also doing pretty well. As far as breaking the pressure, they were able to get it across. So I think we're seeing pretty good gameplay from both teams right now.
In the early going, it seems like Cambrian, albeit an 0-11 record coming into tonight's action, still willing to give 100% effort, at least off the early going, and try to run with Mohawk.
Which is nice to see.
Ball inbounded after the second foul shot made. Rymack makes both, and again turned over just as they hit center. Cambrian with a quick loss of possession. Genabella from the top uses the screen to her advantage, goes down low off the pick and roll, and Brown is fouled from behind, and Karina is going to go to the line as well.
And this is a great time for Mohawk to work on their plays as well. So I'm sure Duffy's going to be pushing that. You know, it's getting close to playoff season, so you want to make sure that all your plays are running smoothly without hitch.
And I will say, Cambrian having such a short lineup cannot start to get into foul trouble as early as they have in this game.
Yeah, only playing with 7 players today.
As Brown misses the second, the ball fought for by Arbor. She will not come up with it, and Cambrian can move forward now on offense. A long shot put up by Marcotte. It does not hit anything, finds its way out of bounds. So another turnover for Cambrian. Cambrian's offense runs mostly through Marcotte. As we discussed before, she had 23 points last game. Batnick finding Brown at the top. Abella down low to Arbor, and an easy 2. Mohawk surrounding Cambrian off the inbounds, and that kind of pressure does lead to a turnover, so Mohawk ball. So the Mohawk Mountaineers will inbounds down at the touchline. An 8-point advantage early and looking to continue to add, and there's a great backdoor pass. Batnick finds Abella on the outside, cutting in, and an easy 2. Ball thrown down ahead by Cambrian into the corner and lost out of bounds by Michaela Alloway. We will now see the substitution of Jessica Ireland coming in, and Caitlin Arbor headed out, and as well as Brittany Gazzola, who will be coming in, and Steph Rymack gets her first break. And that ball, the inbounds, tipped out, remains in possession of Cambrian. Ball at the top, held by Marcotte. She sends it across. Found Delaney, who then goes out to Jokius, and her shot off back iron and out. Abella comes forward quick with pace. Batnick down the side, and an easy lay-in.
Easy turnaround. In Cambrian, we were talking about even just the size difference. So for Cambrian not having that many players, and they also don't have a lot of size. So like you said earlier, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of shots put up. There's not going to be a lot of driving, because driving into our Mohawk team is quite an obstacle for them.
Yes, the size difference is clear. Most of, if not the entire 7-man roster for Cambrian, under about 5'7". There's a drive towards the net from Gazzola. Unfortunately, she gets turned away, but great full court pressure. And as you said, Genabella all over, and there's a great feed.
Nice finish.
17-3 Mohawk lead. We'll take another look at that as the ball heads out on the side. And here we go. Let's take a replay of this last play at Bella, the little feed down low and a nice, simple left-handed lay-in. Ball will be inbounded on the sideline. Shannon O'Neill making a return to the lineup and now inserted for the first time into tonight's action after missing 3 months with a wrist injury. Gazzola down low finds the open space, and unfortunately the shot from Johns goes up and out, or excuse me, Ireland. The rebound came down, and it will be a foul offensively on Mohawk. So Cambrian ball.
And like you said, this is Shannon's first game back, and we've been seeing a lot of Mohawk girls getting healthy again. So the first return was Steph, and she had 17 points in that game, and Jen was just back last game with 19 points. So maybe Shannon will keep the streak going as she goes down for this layup now.
And there is Shannon O'Neill going hard to the basket off the turnover, and she'll earn 2 free throw shots. And if she can keep the streak going, you'd expect her to get to 21.
Yeah, we want to be building.
And that's exactly where head coach Kevin Duffy wants to be headed, is building towards the playoffs. As for Cambrian, we've noticed that, as mentioned earlier, Carly Marcotte has gotten a lot of touches, and like you said, the size difference has led to a lot of long shots early in the game.
Yeah, I know she generally plays 36 minutes a game, so she has to be conditioned for that, which being on a short team with not a lot of bench, you're getting a lot of playing time, so she has to be ready for that.
And unfortunately, a defensive 8 seconds not being able to reach the half-court line. Another turnover early for Cambrian. They have made multiple, trying to just get across half-court against this Mohawk defense.
Yeah, it definitely hasn't been easy for them.
Ball worked along the side. Gazzola up top. O'Neill drops a 3 off rim, just out. Rebound battled. And it'll be Ireland who's able to wrestle Jokias to the ground, and unfortunately earns the foul. Changes as Rymack re-enters the game. And an early foul on Steph, who looks around in a little bit of confusion.
Yeah, she just came a little hot off the bench there.
Ball brought forward slowly by Marcotte. Cambrian still with just that 3-pointer that they hit on their first series down the floor. They have not scored on a single possession since. Shot clock coming down and an interception. Johns headed the other way, running the floor. The lay-in, though, no good. Ireland grabbed the rebound, if not just for a second, but loose ball, Rymack. There's Gazzola outside, and they'll slow it down. Gazzola attacks the middle, outside. O'Neill now with just a second on the shot clock to go, and it's off rim and out. Rebound for Cambrian. Moving forward with speed. Here comes Carly Marcotte, but her pass, unfortunately, lost, fumbled, and then missed. And that was by Kayla Alloway, number 8.
And one thing with Mohawk, they're a team that likes to run. They like the fast break, so that's definitely going to wear out the Cambrian team. See how they deal with that this game.
And I think as they move the ball forward here, Marcotte driving has earned the foul. And Cambrian was looking for the timeout there, but before that, we're going to take another look here at this drive and foul. Marcotte just leaning in, a little bit of a hack maybe, and almost maybe a little bit of a give me call. So timeout Cambrian, 18-3, 4:22 to go, first quarter. Not a good start if you're Cambrian College.
Yeah, it's kind of how we thought this game was going to go. But Mohawk, as long as they don't let this ruin their mentality, they need to, keep the compete on, because we've seen a lot of games be lost that way. You think you have the lead, and then all of a sudden the other team starts creeping up. So I think they just need to keep the pressure on. Don't lower their compete level to Cambrian at this point. And Cambrian, I think that, when they're getting the ball across half court, do a lot more passes. Mohawk plays a pretty tough man-to-man, so if they can fake a couple of their passes, they might get some more easy looks at the basket.
And the thing about the offense for Cambrian earlier is, like we said, a lot of shots from the outside, not a lot of drive.
And most of them from Marcotte, right?
Exactly, and most of them from the one girl herself, Carly, who did have 27 shots their last game out, so it's not an unexpected factor, but it is a lot easier to handle a team when 5 people are basically run through one. So.
Yeah, exactly. So she averages 21 points per game and 8 rebounds, so she's definitely the key to that team, and it's probably what's familiar to the players as well, right? Like, they know to get the ball to her because she's kind of what's going to make it work.
So Ball to be inbounded from the baseline in Mohawk territory. Or excuse me, actually Marcotte's going to head to the line and take 2. And she'll miss the first off back rim. Cambrian has lost recently by about 80 points in 3 of their last 4 games. That is 80-point difference in loss. Second shot goes down for Marcotte, and it's their first point since the first possession and shot of the game. Ball down low, missed. Rebound go back up and still no, and then Brown for a third time finds the bottom of the hoop. Cambrian flying forward again. Marcotte hand checked. And that will lead to an inbounds for Cambrian.
And this is a time that Mohawk doesn't want to be getting lazy. They're starting to get a couple fouls. They're at 3 now for this quarter, and that's just a little bit of lazy basketball. I don't think they're using their feet enough to get in front of them.
Mohawk also got off to an extremely hot start and was up 24-13 at the end of the first quarter in their last game, the 61-50 win over Fanshawe. So another hot start for the Mountaineers, and unfortunately, O'Neill, leaning in for the foul on the drive, does not get the call there going to the hoop. As the ball is inbounded, a bit of a rough check there from Rymack. Cambrian will take it from the sideline. That was Kelsey Trowbridge who drew the foul. Blondin inbounds, and that will go off the leg of Rymack. She was looking for Marcotte. Ball inbounded by Cambrian. Again, they work it to Marcotte. She drives the hole, and she will draw another foul. Third straight time down the floor.
Yeah. I think it's kind of the way they need to be going at this point, especially since the refs are really calling the fouls. So Mohawk's already up to 5 fouls, and Cambrian sitting at 3. So definitely the game play or game strategy should be to drive to the net and draw some more fouls.
And also, they started the game with a lot of shots from the outside, pretty much keeping it away from the basket. So now, out of that timeout, 3 straight possessions down the floor, driving right to the hoop. So a bit of a change from Nambaga Suwali.
Yeah, if the shots aren't dropping, then take it for the layup. If you don't make the layup, then hopefully you draw the foul.
Ball worked down low quickly. Samantha Donald found Batnick, and unfortunately, they're going to say her left foot was out on the touch line. So
that would have been a deep 3.
It was a deep 3, but not to count, unfortunately. So Mohawk with some substitutions. Gazzola back onto the floor. Out comes Batnick for a bit of a rest, and Jen Abella returns. Quickly, Marcotte with a bit of a football pass down the other way. Trowbridge runs it down, feeds it back out top. Alloway gets the 3 off. She misses off the backboard. Now Abella working Trowbridge down court, losing the handle a bit, but still cutting through the middle.
End to end.
And a little too much speed on it. Now Marcotte trying to do the same and loses the handle. It's been a running game the last few minutes, and now Arbor finishes off a terrific set of passing between O'Neill, Abella, and Arbor there.
Yeah, it was a great fast break there.
Right back down comes Trowbridge for Cambrian, and she'll lose the handle, unfortunately out of bounds. 22-5, late first quarter. Mohawk continuing to slowly but surely stretch the lead. And one of the biggest problems for Cambrian this year has been a lack of scoring. They have actually struggled to achieve 20 to 30 points a game. So this already a 22-5 lead, and now up to 25 with that 3 from Abella in the corner, looking very insurmountable. So the ball worked down. Cambrian, Jokius out to the top. Marcotte looking at the clock, down to the Jokius. Trying to find some space, but Gazzola with a steal. And a great finish down at the other end from Birnie. And we've seen a lot of good defensive work as soon as they've hit the half line tonight, Sadie. when it comes to Mohawk.
Exactly, and Mohawk's not letting off on that either. They're going to keep the pressure on and keep racking up these points. I think when you get to a point that's this late into the season, you got to keep the pressure on. You can't sit back because, next game, these next couple games count towards those playoffs.
And they are definitely not easing up. As you were saying that, another forced turnover in points, and now another forced turnover. And another finish, Hunter Johns, and the lead now bumped up.
And Duffy just called them back, so I think he's calling the press off for now.
And as you say, I think with about a minute and a half left in the first, a good call from Kevin, being a little bit reluctant to hold back for most of the first quarter, and now at the end will settle the troops down a bit. Still with the ball, though, in the offensive end, looking to add to a 31-5 advantage, and what a finish from Caitlin Arbor, swinging around through the paint.
Brittany Gazzola.
Oh, excuse me, Brittany Gazzola. I thought that was Arbor there, but Sadie corrected me.
Okay, blonde hair.
I have horrible vision. Ball works itself out of bounds. Jokias losing it off the fingertips, and with just 53 seconds and 2/10, Cambrian will make 2 substitutions, bringing back into the game Chelsea Blondin and Danielle Dupere. Jen Genabella comes forward, nice and easy. Ball
Looks
worked
like they're
around,
running through some plays.
as well as Desiree Dutrazak on the floor for Mohawk, one of their newer additions, and only her 3rd game of action tonight. Abella spots and pops a long 3.
That looked nice.
And we're going to have to take another look at that long stop and pop from Jen Genabella from a good 5 feet beyond the 3-point arc, drilling this 3 home, giving Mohawk a 31-point advantage. Down the other end, a shot is put up and missed from the corner by Delaney, and now the ball worked forward by Mohawk, and Bella has it once again in her hands. Dutrazak down low, just seconds to go, and the shot put up and is good from Hunter Johns to end our first quarter. 38 points from the Mohawk Mountaineers to just 5 for Cambrian College. Our prediction of a little bit of a one-sided affair might have been just bang on, ever so slightly.
Yeah, no, and so now it's whether Mohawk's going to keep that gas on or if they're going to ease off a little bit, and maybe Cambrian will slice up this lead a bit.
Take a look at some of the highlights from that first quarter of play. Mainly highlights from the Mohawk Mountaineers offense, but as you mentioned, the first 3-pointer and then a bit of a lack and lull for Cambrian offensively. I think one of the main things to take from the highlights can be the turnovers and the pace of the defense. And like you said, Duffy at the end of the first quarter, calling back the defense, or the Wolves, you could say a bit. Clearly a lead that's
I think there's a
pretty
certain
safe,
point where you have to.
I think Kevin's slowly realizing that this game may already be slightly out of hand.
Yeah, but Duffy, he's not one to let off. So I think he's comfortable with being at 38 points. But if his girls aren't putting their effort out there, I can see him putting the press back on just to get the energy level back up. It is obviously hard as Cambrian to try and work with that, and it must be frustrating having pressure on for most of the first quarter when you've only scored 5 points. I know I would be frustrated as a player, so I think Mohawk should leave the pressure off for now.
I think we'll see Duffy relax a bit in the early part of the second quarter. I don't think that's a word that's really common in his vocabulary, but I believe that this quarter he's going to take a bit of a wee break on these girls because, as we said, 7-man roster. They haven't shown a whole lot of offense all year.
It's a very young team.
They're
all built of first and second year, so it's definitely like a building year for them, and maybe next year and then following year they can start building more and get some more team chemistry.
We're about to get underway in the second quarter of play from the D-Bark.
It's a really good opportunity for Mohawk to really work on their plays, though, in a game like this. You can run your plays through the whole set knowing that you have this lead.
I must say, with a 33-point lead, you have quite a bit of luxury to do as you please. Ball work down low, out to the top. It's Abella shooting a 3. And again, the rebound comes down to a Mountaineer, and they continue to swing it around for another jump shot from the corner. Now it's Johns, and hers goes in and out, but the board is picked up by Hunter, and She'll go right back up strong for 2. Working forward is Trowbridge. Out to the corner, Jokies. A long 3 that finds nothing but air. And now it's picked up by Alloway. Swung around Delaney over to Marcotte, and she will hit from long range. Once again, Cambrian able to score on their first possession of the quarter. Unfortunately, in the first, they didn't follow that up with much. See what they do here. Abella at the top. Another 3 from Jen. Off front rim and out, but another rebound offensively for Mohawk. Ireland to Gazzola. And she will cut right by Jokies with a smooth move to the left.
And Brittany Gazzola, we haven't seen a lot of this year. Last year, she had a huge impact. She was a starter most of the time. So this season, she hasn't had her shot. So I think this game, hopefully she gets her confidence back. We've already seen her on the scoreboard quite a lot. She has those quick little moves and makes it to the net and gets those layups. So hopefully we'll see that carry on through playoffs.
And as the ball comes forward, it's going to be dragged out of bounds. A foul on Cambrian. It's going to go on, I believe, number 8, Michaela Alloway.
I think it was just a reset on the shot clock.
Or excuse me, Sadie is smarter than me, and it was a reset on the shot clock. Not a
just
foul.
bringing it up to 18. It had winded its way down to 7 somehow.
This is why we have color commentary, because the play-by-play is too focused. Ball worked around. Mohawk in the offensive zone, liking to swing it and use every one of the 5, and unfortunately, the shot put up by Dutrzak does not find any bit of the rim. Out of bounds for an air ball and turnover. Ball moved forward slowly by Cambrian. Over the timeline and working with it, top the key. Again to Marcotte. She is the main leader offensively, the main piece.
And the shot clock's under 10.
And with the shot clock under 10, she does get the shot, but off rim and out. Gazzola quickly ahead, Dutrzak. Back to the top, Gazzola. Down low, Brown. Again, Mohawk, wonderful passing in the offensive end. Ball swung back out, Gazzola comes in, kicks it. O'Neal from the side, drills the jumper, makes it look easy. And we will take another look at that. What terrific end-to-end passing and
Mohawk's doing a great job moving the ball around on their offense.
And a terrific job of finishing from Shannon there in her first game back.
Exactly.
Dutrzak working it forward to Gazzola. Cambridge still trying to keep with it. Down 44-11. Gazzola cutting with ease to the net.
She's so good at that. She can just weave through players.
And like Sadie said earlier, maybe just not enough chances yet for Brittany to show us exactly what she's got this year. A turnover there as Marcotte tried a quick shot, and it was blocked, and unfortunately Dutrzak loses it out of bounds. One of the few Mohawk turnovers in this first half there. The inbounds pass from Jokies off a hand. Worked forward though, still Delaney with the ball for Cambrian. And she will draw the foul going to the net on Dutrzak. Take another look at this hand check from Dutrzak. A bit of a weak call, not the most contact you'll see, but Cambrian maybe getting a little bit of help from the referee there.
Maybe a little.
I mean, when you're down 35 points, that might not be that much help. Second shot off rim and out. Both shots missed, unfortunately, from Cambrian there. Gazzola leading the offense down. O'Neal back to Britt. And back to Shannon, swinging it again. Mohawk just firing that ball around in the offensive end, and there's a great cut.
Once again.
From the top to the bottom, Brittany Gazzola.
She went in between 2 people there with no foul and gets her wide open spot every time.
Ball swung around a bit from Cambrian now. A long three from the corner. Marcotte missed. Ball came out. Alloway grabbed it in a battle with O'Neill. And even with her bad wrist, Shannon able to keep hold of the ball at least long enough, but it will be Cambrian ball out on the touch. Marcotte taking the inbounds, tries to drive towards the basket, and a foul on the floor to Mohawk. And it'll be on number 3, I believe, Brittany Gazzola. 6:02 to play here in the first half. And that ball will be lost off the fingertips of O'Neill. So another inbounds for Cambrian, struggling to find some space here in the offensive end.
Yeah, Mohawk's definitely keeping the pressure on defensively. They're not giving them anything easy.
A sub coming in as Gazzola will come off, and we'll see Batnick re-enter. And a quick jump shot off the inbounds. Cambrian able to hit, but they do find the loose ball. Great work by Trowbridge. Delaney working her pivot foot. Spots up and shoots the 3 and barely misses as it crawls around on the rim. Batnick coming down with it and working forward. Outlets to Desiree Dutrazak. There's O'Neill working in the middle. It kicks it out. Shot from the side from Samantha Donald, off rim and out. Cambrian running the floor and unable to connect.
Not too hard of a pass there. She threw it a little bit too far ahead of her. But Marcotte wanted it. She definitely doesn't give up in these kinds of games.
I will say, Carly has been running the floor and been one of the more endurable players, at least considering she's played pretty much every moment of this game thus far.
Yep.
Shannon O'Neill working with the ball, goes across to Steph Rymack. A long 3 just crawls off the front of the rim and out. Again, Delaney brings it forward for Cambrian. She's been controlling most of the play lately. Her pass and Alloway will end up being called on a charge there. And we'll take a look at that charging call. Great step in from the Mohawk defender there. Donald just setting her feet and able to take the charge.
I don't know, that one was kind of close.
I will say that was
that
a little
look
bit
like
of
a charge to me.
She may not have had the feet cemented into the ground, but they were close enough. Hunter Johns to Gazzola.
It's not a close enough game that we'll argue that one.
I don't think a 37-point game deserves that kind of scrutiny. But who knows? Points can change anything. Cambrian, though, needing quite a few of them right now if they want to get back in this, and that will not help. Alloway's shot out of bounds. Not many times I believe Mohawk has held a 37-point lead this year in the second quarter of play, but as you said earlier, a lot of time for Duffy in this game to work some plays, work out some kinks, try some new things. This is just one of those games. You got to use the time wisely.
And these games are really good for Mohawk. Getting 2 of these under their belt, it puts them in a better position for playoffs, because right now they're tied with Fanshawe for second. Putting this game and hopefully tomorrow's game under their belt will solidify their second place and drop Fanshawe down to third, which is right where they want to be.
And also, considering they haven't faced Cambrian this year yet, most probably other teams who have received 2 wins off of this team. So being that they are 9-3 coming in without these 2 games played, a pretty impressive record for the Mountaineers. 50 points reached with just 4 minutes to go in the second quarter for Mohawk already tonight. Continuing to work that offense. A lot of passing up around at the top and then trying to get it down low into the paint. Shot clock coming down. And Arbor able to hit, but it will not count. They're going to say it's going to be a foul on Mohawk, or is it actually I think it is a 3 in the key. So Cambrian come forward. And a long shot from Trowbridge is off the back, or the backboard, excuse me, and out. So Jen Genabella forward now. Batnick. Ireland and across. Gazzola finds Abella in the corner. Right back top to Gazzola.
Shot clock's under 10.
And they just play a little pitch and catch, but the shot off rim and out. And right there is Ireland still working the ball. showing that size advantage for Mohawk.
Yeah, shouldn't have to work hard for that rebound.
And finally Cambrian able to grab a board and work it out. The throw comes
nice
forward.
pass.
And a
Good
great
finish.
yeah.
It was a good fast break.
Carly Marcotte, terrific finish under pressure. Gazzola up top, Johns, Arbor, and Gazzola again from now the corner. No good. Arbor down low, grabbed the board, went up strong, and earns a foul. The foul will go against Aurora Delaney. And this 7-man roster for Cambrian definitely looking a little worn out right now with just 2:30 or 2:50 to play second quarter.
You can't blame them. Only having 2 subs, that's not a lot of rotating that you can do. And Mohawk's a fast team. They're not really one to set up. They like to take advantage of their fast breaks. So Cambrian's having to keep up with that right now.
And the rebound still not going back in. Still worked for by Johnson Arbor and eventually put home by Arbor. 40-point advantage now for Mohawk. Delaney at the top, swings. Jokius swings it to Marcotte. She looks, takes the long 3 off rim and out. The ball comes loose and Delaney grabs it for Cambrian. An odd offensive rebound for them. Marcotte now able to sink the fading jumper from the side. She has the majority of their points, I must say.
Yeah, I know you're saying her name a lot.
Johns with a 3, answers right back for the Mountaineers. It's 56-15.
Just under 2 minutes left in this half.
See if Cambrian can have a bit of a push here at the end. Delaney with a long
You
shot.
called it.
And there it is, a 3-pointer from the top. Quickly back, Johns wanted to spot up and do it again. Now Gazzola thought about it. Johns will go across, Abella inside. What passing from the girls.
Yeah. Seen some good movement.
We'll take another look at that wonderful finish from Arbor after some terrific passing from her teammates. And Abella with the final little dish and a nice little up fake by Arbor and making a move to her strong side on the left. And there, a 3-ball from Marcotte. Well over and out. And we will see a bit of a break here and a timeout called by Cambrian. So 58-18, 40-point deficit, minute 13 on the clock. And coming up for you on the halftime, we're going to have a little interview for Christine Midgley with Brittany Gazzola, who's had an extremely hot start to the game in this first half tonight, Sadie.
Yeah, no, she has. And this is the Brittany Gazzola that we haven't been seeing in a while. The driving, she's awesome at it. You know, she can weave right through everyone and finish, which is the best part. I think we've seen a lot of missed close ones from Mohawk. They're getting those second and third opportunities, but which is lucky. You know, they're able to rebound. There's a little bit of a size difference there, but Brittany's been making all of hers, I think, first try.
I think one of the keys for Mohawk has been the attack and the pressure. Because in a game like this, there's a lot of times that you'll let up, especially because you feel bad or you just don't want to put it on a team like this. So.
And you can't be lazy, because if they're lazy this game, that'll carry on throughout their next games. You know, they'll come up against a tough team, and then they're not going to be the same team that they were before they played Cambrian. So they got to keep up their level of compete and just play it like any other game.
It's going to be tough for Kevin Duffy to have a rough first half talk with the girls when they're up 40 and have played as well as they have in this first half. Batnick working with the ball. Now O'Neill up top, Rymack across, Batnick. O'Neill was the intended receiver of the pass. That found its way all the way across and out of bounds to the Cambrian sideline. Under a minute to play now, first half. And there's a turnover from Marcotte. Her shot never got anywhere close to the net. And Mohawk back down the court. Rymack up top. Shannon O'Neill and across to Batnick. A lot of passing at the top of the key and then intervaling down low. And Brown able to finish strong down low in the paint. And Mohawk has touched the 60-point plateau now in this first half. Ball worked around the top, and the shot goes off backboard and out. And the ball coming down, there will be a foul on Cambrian for the push. So Mohawk Mountaineer ball from the touchline with just 11 seconds remaining in this first half, and Rymack on the inbounds with 10 to go. Over the half line to Batnick. Down low, Brown. Fakes, drives, kicks it out off the hands of Donald, and that will lead to the end of the first half. The final shot, well short from Danielle Dupere. 60-18 for the Mountaineers as they lead through one half of play here from the David Braley Athletic and Recreation Center. And we're going to have some first half highlights for you coming up in just a moment. Mohawk has been putting it all over the visitors tonight.
Yeah, which is what we expected to see. Looking at the records, Mohawk sitting at 9-3 and Cambrian at 0-11. This is the game we expected, and they're giving it to us.
And as we see in the first half, Shannon O'Neill has had a terrific start, as well as, of course, Jen Janabella and many others who have just recently returned to the lineup. So a lot of good, positive things going forward for Mohawk.
Definitely.
So we are going to now go check in live with Christine Midgley, who's got Brittany Gazzola on for a little interview at half. So let's go to Christine now, who's standing side with Brittany.
I'm here with number 3, Brittany Gazzola of the Mohawk Mountaineers. Now, Britt, you've been absolutely killing it in the first half. You've been on fire. What's driving you in this game?
Well, I just know that we had to do a lot of things. Number one, driving and then dishing. I personally like to drive. I'm not a best shooter on the team, so when the drive's there, I definitely take it, and when it's not, I kick it out to a shooter that I know will make the shot.
Yeah. So what can we expect to see from you in the second half? Will you keep that motivation going?
Yeah, I want to try working as different positions, so guard to a point guard. Just you never know what's going to happen and what you need to play. We definitely need to work on our plays and work from different spots. So once again, I'll try driving from different angles as well as dishing to different people, and hopefully that will make us better overall.
Well, hopefully that works out for you guys in the second half. Thank you so much. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Christine. So 60-18 Mohawk lead. We'll be back with the second half and more from the D-Bark when we get back here on M-Link. Nick Birnie, Sadie Martin, come back after these messages. We are here at the David Bradley Athletic and Recreation Center, and we have ourselves a 60-18 matchup right now. So as the two teams hit the court, a little bit lopsided in the first half, Sadie, and not maybe the best game to watch, but a game, like you said, to improve upon and work upon some things. So Kevin Duffy, hopefully in the second half, I think, will come out and hope his girls can continue to put up a full effort.
Like the person that really stood out in the first half was Brittany Gazzola, which we haven't seen on the score sheet a lot this first half of the season. So right now she's sitting at 14 points. So she's had a great first half. I think Christine talked to her a little bit earlier, and hopefully she carries on for the second half, and it can be a good confidence boost to carry on for the rest of the season for her.
And also Jen Janabella, since coming in, 10 points and 8 assists in that first half.
Yeah, she's close to a double-double.
And only her second game back in the lineup. Cambrian working the ball around in the Mohawk end early. Marcotte taking another shot. She has led the team in shots, 4 of 11 in that first half for Cambrian. Standing over is Rymack, waiting, and Abella on the other side receiving. And working the ball lower now is Mohawk, and back out. Abella with a 3, pop from the corner and drills. Mohawk making it still look easy on the offensive end. 2 quick trips down the floor and 2 straight scores.
I'm looking at the stat sheet from the first half, and points off turnovers, Mohawk had 32 points off turnovers, while Cambrian had 1. So that just shows that, you know, Mohawk's putting that pressure defense on, and they're able to turn that around with points. And so I think that shows to their lead right there.
And a very large gap in terms of points off turnovers, which clearly has pretty much been the entire gap of this game, that 30-40 point lead that Mohawk has roughly held for about a quarter and a half now. Brown working with it, kicking back out. Batnick tried to find Arbor, and Marcotte making a good defensive play. Carly works it forward. Delaney off back and out. Abella working it from the left. Slowly up to Rymack. Into Brown. Brown across. Abella thought about it again. Now she'll go across to Rymack just inside the 3 line. Drills a long jumper. And as you said, Sadie, the points have been spread and a few players standing out like Abella, like Gazzola and Arbor in the first quarter, or excuse me, that first half, but still a pretty even effort all around. The offense has been clicking for Mohawk.
Yeah, and that's great about Mohawk. They really work as a team. Cambrian has, you know, their one strong player that basically dominates all of their points. Mohawk, they can hand the ball to any one of their players and know that they can trust them to finish it for them.
There's another finish for Mohawk. Arbor able to get them the easy bucket down low. Marcotte up to the top, Delaney. Driving for Cambrian and a kick out. Here's a long shot into 3 from Jokius. Goes down for Cambrian.
Those are her first points on the board.
And there has been a few players for Cambrian yet to touch the board. There's a finish down low, nice and easy again for Mohawk. They've really had no trouble scoring with their back to the basket. Marcotte on the drive, a little bit out of control there. And we're going to throw to Christine Midgley now, who has a little update for us on the coaches and what they've had to say about that first half.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I got a chance to sit down with Coach Sawali at the halftime. She updated me about their strategy going forward in the half. Now, what we're going to see here is better defense. That is their main strategy, and they're not going for the win. They're going for the small victories. They're looking to build their team rather than take the win. As you guys have talked about, this is a rebuilding year for Cambrian. They haven't been doing too well, but they have a very new team. So that is the goal, small victories. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Christine. And
Similar to what we've been talking
pretty
about.
much the storyline of the game is, thank you, Miss Midgley, for the update. It's pretty much just keeping status quo. They're trying to improve. It's been a rough go for them. And
I think the best way to improve on a team is to play these tough teams like Mohawk. You know, it makes them, they have to get that ball over half with Mohawk's pressure on, and that's just going to make them a better team.
they could clearly learn a thing or two from the full court press that Duffy and the Mountaineers have implemented for the early part of this game. That will not be a counted basket there from Shannon O'Neill on the down low move. They will take the ball out to the side and re-inbound it. Mohawk still holding a commanding lead, 71-23 early in this third quarter. Gazzola at the top. Dutrazak finds O'Neill. She'll stop. She'll pop a three. It goes off rim and finds its way down off the top of the backboard. Cambrian comes forward. Delaney takes her time, hits it out. Jokius back up to the top now. They find Troy Bridge, and she will go now to
Shot
Alloway.
clock's under 10.
Shot up, and Delaney.
She likes those long threes.
Like you said, I believe that is actually her second or third three-pointer of the game now.
Yeah, it's her second. So she's 2 for 4 from the three-point line right now, and I think both of them were very long threes, so she's definitely not afraid to take those.
Delaney showing off her range. Mohawk works it in the offensive end. Donald goes back out to the top. Gazzola with a drive and kick, and Shannon O'Neill with a long jumper, and she'll drill. This time, Shannon, again, actually will only be credited with the 2. They're going to say her right foot was on the line. Cambrian works down low, ball up, off backboard and out. Good block and work from Mohawk. Gazzola working it around. O'Neal again in that corner spot. She's hit 2 straight shots from the opposite corners. Gazzola looks to her again, then thinks twice. Finds Dutrzak on the other side. Her shot goes off rim and out. O'Neal working it down low, up back top, and there is a drive and finish from Gazzola, and they are going to count it and the foul. So let's take another look at that down low play from Mohawk. Take us through it, Sadie. Just a little, or maybe I'll just take it through it because it was happening so fast.
No, I was just taking it in too. So it looked like it was kind of a slow move on Birnie Gazzola's part, but she got the foul called, so that's good. I don't know. From my end, it almost looked like it was a travel, but she's at the line now, and the basket counted, so.
And like she said at the end of the first half, she wants to be able to work all those types of positions, so her inside-out game looking good right now. And there was a good put-back finish from Desiree Dutrzak on the missed second foul attempt. 80 points now for Mohawk. Another turnover at half court. Gazzola, O'Neal, Donald, O'Neal right up top. Back down, Shannon working on her defender. And again, a kick out to the outside, and Gazzola now drives. Donald, they keep switching it. O'Neal from the corner hits, and Shannon.
We're seeing some great passes.
3 straight shots hit by Shannon O'Neal.
We're seeing really good passing on Mohawk's end of things. They're staying really organized and using their shot clock, working on their plays, and I think everyone on the team's getting touches on their offensive side.
A quick shot from Cambrian is up and out. And again, the Mountaineers move back forward. Unafraid to push the pace offensively. Swung around. O'Neal goes across to Gazzola. Thought about the long shot. Her pass, though, deflected and lost. Alloway, lead out pass. Marcotte rushing forward, took a step. And we're going to see a foul. A good attempt by Donald, as well as O'Neal, to get back on the play, but a foul given. So a few switches for both sides now, bringing some fresh legs. And Mohawk continues to run the court with a lot of steam, and really no way they're going to let up, it looks like, in the next little bit. Duffy seems to be pushing them to be relentless against these Cambrian girls.
Yeah, he is rotating through everyone, though, which is nice. Like Desiree, she hasn't seen a lot of court time, so it's good that she's getting out there and able to work on the plays with the girls.
And Desiree has been on the court pretty much the entire third quarter. O'Neal to Desiree again. Rymack down to the corner. Johns a quick stop and pop and made it look just so easy. We're going to take another look at that terrific end-to-end passing, finishing with just a nice little stop and go shot from the corner.
And Hunter John, she's now at 11 points now for the game. So we have a lot of Mohawk girls over double digits at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with 84 points, you have to be spreading those points out, right?
Rymack forward. Again to Desiree Dutrzak, getting a lot of action in her third game for the Mountaineers. Or excuse me, fourth game for the Mountaineers.
Nice little spin move.
And there's a little spin, as you said, from Samantha Donald down low for 2. Delaney forward will stop and pop another long 3, and Delaney, as
Delaney
Sadie
has
said,
the three-pointers.
three-pointers, and all of them from long range. We're going to take another look at that 3. Delaney just no fear popping the long, well-out shot from about 5 feet beyond the arc.
She's 75% from her 3 points this game.
She's added a little spark from beyond the arc as she carries forward again. Her long pass from Marcotte to the hoop, a great finish by Cambrian. And we have to take another look at that. Some terrific fast break play. And the pass and lead out didn't look like it was getting to her at first, but Marcotte able to find her way under the ball.
That was a great couple of plays from Cambrian.
A little bit of an offensive spark,
Another
and now
steal.
another turnover. Here comes Cambrian working it on the offensive end. The shot a little hard, comes out. Mohawk able to work it back forward. Desiree has been touching the ball a lot on most possessions, so she's definitely been involved in the offense tonight.
It looks like Cambrian has changed into his own defense. That could just be the fatigue. Man-to-man is a lot more running. It looks like they've switched up to his own defense, so we'll see how Mohawk takes that. They're going to have to work on a little different sets of offenses, get some more shots off.
So a timeout taken by Cambrian. They trail 86-31, a 55-point deficit with a minute and a half to go, and take a little highlights, or a look at the highlights from the game thus far in this third quarter. So Birnie, who's been our highlight player, one of the top scorers.
She's had a great game so far. And there's her scrapping for the ball there too.
14 points in that first half, adding to it in the third quarter, and has been one of the best players inside and outside for Mohawk really through the first 3 quarters pretty much.
Yeah.
And like she said to Christine on the halftime interview, I mean, she's a player that tries to play all positions. She feels like she can be a guard, she can play down low, she has the size and the length. So
and I think she's had to do that just because of injuries. You know, when Jen Jenabella is out, Steph Rymack really steps up, and Birnie Gazzola has to fill those shoes as well. And she's a second year now, so she kind of knows how Duffy likes to work things, so she can be a leader out there on the court.
And also shooting a very high percentage out on the court, so she's not taking a lot of rush shots and not a lot of bad shots, and that's a smart player who's playing good D and leading the team on the offensive end, so not much more we could ask from Birnie Gazzola if you're Kevin Duffy in this game tonight.
No, I think she's 9 for 10 for her field goals.
Ball inbounded by Cambrian, just a minute and a half to play in the third quarter. Delaney with a quick cut move finds Marcotte, back out, and the shot comes up and is missed by Jokius. Shannon O'Neill grabs the board and outlets to Desiree Dutrazac. Swung around by the Mountaineers at the top. Dutrazac off a give and go off front rim. Ball came loose under the net, but Cambrian able to collect. They'll come forward. Marcotte again with some speed. Backing into her defender. Finds herself under the basket with no one around. And finishes with ease. Rymack to Dutrazac. Steph to now Shannon out from the pop. She turns, shoots, and somehow Shannon O'Neill has hit her last 4 shots with 2 of them popping off rim and doing a little dance on the way down. The ball inside now worked across to Delaney, who finds it back out to Marcotte at the top, and she will miss off front rim. O'Neill and her go for the rebound, and what hustle from Carly Marcotte to grab her own board and finish. With just 5 seconds and counting, Rymack quickly forward. John stops and pops, and that off rim and out will miss. To end the third, we have another look at that great finish from Marcotte, able to fight Shannon O'Neill, or outfight her for the ball, grab the board and finish terrifically with the right hand down low.
You really have to hand it to her. Like, she's very aggressive, and you know, she's playing against these tough teams, and she doesn't give up. She goes after a rebound, she goes after loose balls. She's a huge piece to their offense, and she's doing a great job, I think.
And right now, 88-35, 17 points, as you say, 88-35 the score. Pretty much the game we expected. 53-point deficit is not going to be come back from in the fourth quarter. We all know that. However, like you said, it's been a game of working out some kinks, figuring out some things along the lines of a lineup. We've seen Desiree Dutrazac get in the game, finally gets a little bit of a chance. So in the fourth quarter, I'm pretty sure we'll just see the same old, same old. Probably another lineup of the less used reserves, and not bad to get another.
Give Jen Jenabella a break. You know, we have these girls that are just coming back, so you don't want to have to use them when you don't need to, right? We don't want any more injuries, so get the girls worked in that don't get as much playing time, work on the plays. You know, Cambrian showed them its own defense, and now they're able to work on their zone offense, which works out well for Mohawk. So I think just keep doing that for the rest of the game and don't settle.
So Carly Marcotte has 20 points for Cambrian. Like we were just saying, she's been all over the glass. She's been fighting and pretty much been the mainstay offensively for the team.
There's no one else who's over double digits.
Not a single other player has even touched 10 points for the team. So clearly there's a one-man show on one end. The Mohawk Mountaineers offensive stats, a lot more spread across the board. Of course, like we've mentioned, there have been key players. Birnie and Jen have stepped up and continue to be the mainstays on offense. But, I mean, Steph Rymack, not maybe her best performance points-wise, but doing it in other areas, and as well as the other teammates. We've seen Shannon O'Neill step up. She had a hot streak there in that third quarter of shooting is on her return. So she, like Jen and, of course, Steph before her, another good return in her first game shooting.
Yeah, it's great to see them back in the games, because when you see them generating those points, that means that, you know, in the more important games, they're going to be there to generate those points once again. If you take away, you know, Shannon's points, Steph's points, Jen's points, that's a huge deficit. So it's great to have them in this game and feeling better. So as far as points go, we have Brittany Gazzola with 16 points, Caitlin Arbor 17, Jen Abella 13, and Shannon 12, and Hunter Johns 11. So Mohawk, everyone's getting some points tonight.
Everyone getting into the act on the spread out scoring offensively for the Mountaineers. Desiree Duchazak finding Donald down low, the put-up shot on the turnaround, unable to hit.
There's that three.
Delaney from way out again. Off rim, no good. Ball comes down, and now Johns to Duchazak. And all of a sudden, Rymack finds O'Neill in the corner. Now Rymack down low, Donald. Rymack up top, down low, Johns. The swing around game from Mohawk offensively still continuing to fool Cambrian, and there's a foul down low. Take another look at the foul here. Down low play. Good rebound by Donald, and a tough foul.
Yeah.
But a needed foul for Cambrian. They still have to play that tough defense down low. Marcotte will get her first break in quite a while for Cambrian now. She comes off to the sideline. First shot up from Samantha Donald is good. So Mohawk tomorrow afternoon. We'll be right back here, 1 o'clock start. Mountaineers will face Cambrian again. And if there's anything to build towards tomorrow's game, this would be the fourth quarter for Cambrian to do it. Another shot up and down for the Mountaineers.
And a huge stat just so far for this game is the rebounds. Mohawks leading the rebounds 36 to Cambrian's 19. So those are all those second and third opportunities that Mohawk's been able to take advantage of. And it's also a size difference, right? We talked about Cambrian's a lot smaller team. Mohawk's able to get the position and get those rebounds.
Ball turned over, but great play by Jen Abella on the back end of that to come back and make a terrific hand check. Batnick down low, Donald. Out, Johns, jumper, good again. We have seemed like we are in deja vu mode for the past quarter with Mohawk's offense. Just running as smooth as possible right now. And
yeah, it's nice to see. No turnovers. Not a lot of turnovers, a lot of passes. Working the ball around and everyone's getting to touch.
Abella at the top. Still looking, waiting for some movement from her teammates.
The shot clock's down to 5.
And a travel from Duchazak at the top of the key. So a quick break and back into the game is Carly Marcotte after maybe all of 45 seconds off for Cambrian. Ball worked around. Jokius. Shot goes down there. And missed, and it's 93-38 the lead still for Mohawk. Working forward, Gazzola, Duchazak, and now Johns. So they continue to swing the ball rapidly between what looks like just a triangle offense down low to the right, and there a missed shot down low from Ireland.
And Delaney right now, she's 50% from the three-point line. So between Marcotte and Delaney, I think just keep working the ball that way and see if she can get a couple more off.
And Cambrian tried to do so there, but Delaney unfortunately drops the percentage a bit with that miss.
She must have been listening to me. Jinxed her.
Nambaga Sawali looking for a timeout for Cambrian. Gazzola working. Her pass down low off a finger and out. It will be Cambrian ball. And we are going to see a timeout for the roadside. Trailing currently by 55. So, Brittany Gazzola, one of the mainstays on the team tonight. A great return from Shannon O'Neill. Has had a terrific third quarter and a really overall, I mean, you can't say much bad about what the Mountaineers have done tonight, but a little bit of a lack of focus maybe at times in the early fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Streaky moments, you could say.
Yeah, but I think they're working on their plays a lot, which is good. They're working everyone in. Everyone's getting opportunities, and I think they played an overall good game. They pulled off the pressure, and which is allowing Cambrian to also work on their own offenses. So I think it's been what we expected in this game, and I think what Mohawk expected. So as long as they don't get too lazy and start not playing their game, carry out these last 6 minutes.
The lead, 55. 6 minutes, 37 seconds to go, fourth quarter, in the David Braley Athletic and Recreation Center. This is Mohawk Mountaineers basketball on Emily. Ball inbounded by Cambrian.
And we talked about Cambrian maybe getting into foul trouble, but it doesn't look like that would be an issue. The most anyone has is 2, and that's just Delaney and Marcotte. So that's also good to see, because that could have been something that could have really worked against them in a game like this.
Ball being worked around at the top from Mohawk again. Great passing, and Desiree with a shot. Ends up only hitting mesh. Ball grabbed by Cambrian on the loose and taken forward. Marcotte. Drop back to Delaney, another long-range shot, and this time off rim and bounces out. Another board for Mohawk, and this time Brittany Gazzola, the one coming down with it. Batnick to Gazzola. It's definitely been a swaying zone from Cambrian the last 5 minutes or so. Like you said, much less energy spent in the zone compared to the man-to-man, and they've definitely chosen to do so to conserve what energy they have left. But it's not working to stop Mohawk's offense. 95-38 now. And the shot from Cambrian off the backboard and out. So Yokius, or excuse me, Emily Yokius will substitute back in. Coming off is Michaela Alloway. Brittany Gazzola to Batnick, to Gazzola on the side. Her toss to Ireland down low, a little high and off the fingertips and out. So ball worked forward now by Cambrian, trying to put a little offense together, and Marcotte will be the one to shoot the 3 off rim and out. Another quick possession from the Golden Shield. Ball swung around, Batnick down low to Arbor. Back up, Gazzola cuts through and punches it back out to Batnick with a long 2. Mohawk about to stretch the lead to above 60. 97-38 right now. Just 4:25 to play, and Desiree Dutrzak, a good steal. Driving the hoop, but just misses off the fingertip rolling.
Fingertip rolling.
I just created a new word there, I swear. I think it was a lay-in, but I said rolling because I'm Canadian and I was thinking of Tim Hortons.
It's coming up.
Speaking of which, so substitutions now for the Mountaineers. Batnick will take a break. O'Neill back in, as well as Samantha Donald. 4 minutes to play, fourth quarter. A very lopsided affair here from Mohawk College. Gazzola. Ireland works down low. Donald trying to find it out top and could not. Dutrzak was the one in the paint and the call is made. I think it's a 3-second violation. So Cambrian with the ball moving forward. Marcotte again. Basically, her and Delaney have touched it the most offensively. There's a surprising spot and shoot three from Kelsey Trowbridge. So we'll see another look at that. She just set herself up in great position. Just an unlikely shooter.
That is one stat that Cambrian is leading right now, is they have 21 points off of three-pointers, and Mohawk sitting at 15 points off three-pointers. So, you know, being a shorter team, I'm sure the coach tries to practice on their shots more often than like work in the paint, which is, you know, what they're going to have available to them. So if they can make a couple threes, that makes a huge difference in a game. And vice versa, Mohawk's points. They have 44 points from in the paint, while Cambrian is sitting at just 2 points from in the paint. So
it's been a rough go down low for Cambrian, and there is a shot clock violation on the Golden Shield, and they are going to take the ball out to the side, Mohawk, albeit a little bit of arguing from Nambaga Sawali, the head coach of Cambrian. Felt her team deserved better there. Shannon O'Neill across to Gazzola. Gazzola back. Johns underneath with a little jump shot from about 10 feet out. Misses. Still swinging the ball around, and what a cutting move to the net there from Dutrazak.
That was nice movement.
Unable to get hit with the feed.
And Dutrazak, she hasn't made it on the board, but she is sitting at 4 assists right now. So for a player that doesn't get a lot of time, that's great that she's helping her other players make those big moves.
Shot doesn't go. Marcotte drives the hoop and gets it to go. Take another look at that drive from the Sudbury, Ontario native. Straight to the hoop. Leans the shoulder in terrifically to Johns to draw the harm, and makes the shot as well. And she'll add the and one. 97-44, Cambrian, excuse me, able to put some points on the board here in this second half. Just the defense has not been there for him. Shannon O'Neill stops and pops just off back rim and out. Forward comes Cambrian on the rush. And underneath the hoop and turning it over is Trowbridge, excuse me. Johns. Back up to the top. He's got Gazzola swinging it to O'Neill. Donald goes down low. Johns off backboard and out. And Marcotte continuing to run and push and driving the net, cannot get it to go against 5 Mohawk defenders all by herself.
I think it's probably when that fatigue's setting in for Cambrian. It's been a long game, especially with only 7 players.
We're in the last minute and a half of play now. So if anyone is feeling it, it's got to be the Cambrian girls. There's a rebound. Johns right up with it. And we are going to see a timeout for Cambrian with just 1:20 to play. Trailing 55, 99-44.
So are they going to break 100?
With 1:20 to go, my luck says yes. Then again, I'm not really that good at guessing stuff. 1:20 to go.
Jen Genabella, she got a double-double. So she had 13 points and 11 assists. So you'd expect a point guard to be racking up the assists, but it's good to see that she also gets her points on the board too.
Jen, good stat line in both her first 2 games back. Same can go for Steph Rymack, who may not have been putting up the points in big numbers today, but still a very productive day offensively. Helping lead to 99 points for the Mountaineers.
And we have everyone on Mohawk team is on the board except for Dutrazak, so that's a huge stat to have, to know that your whole team is contributing to those 99 points.
It's been a full team effort on the offensive and defensive end for Mohawk. And Kevin Duffy will be nothing but pleased with the summation of this one. Mohawk well on its way to its 10th win this year, and unfortunately Cambrian on its way to an 0-12 start to their regular season. And this win for Mohawk will put them into sole possession of second place in the Western Division. So,
which is the place that they want to be.
They're a minute away from doing so. Just need to get through it now. As the ball worked in and down low and then back out by Cambrian. Marcotte will take a shot from the corner. Off rim and out. Donald ahead. Dutrazak back to Gazzola at the top. And now Dutrazak trying to give a little give and go with Johns, and now drives, finds Donald, and Donald unable to hit. Gazzola down low with a hard bump on Marcotte, and I believe she's going to earn the foul and go to the line. So Brittany with a chance to add a few more points to her terrific evening.
Yeah, she's sitting at 16 points right now. 8 for 9.
And she will make the first of 2 from the line. And the second is up and out off rim. Battled for, and Britt is able to come up with it. Shannon from the side drills the long-range jumper, and Mohawk have stretched the lead to 102-44.
And Shannon had a great return game. She's now at 14 points and 4 rebounds, so it's a good game for her to get back at it. She's had 3 months off, so that's a long time.
Delaney drills the 3. Not that it will matter much, just padding the stats for the Cambrian guard.
Which puts her over 10, so she's sitting at 11 points now.
And Mohawk will maneuver the ball around for the final seconds of this one to run it down. And that will do it. Gazzola dribbles it out. It's a 102-47 win for the Mountaineers by 55 points.
That's how we thought the game was going to go tonight.
That's pretty much what we expected when we looked at it at the beginning. Sadie kind of expected a lopsided game with one team kind of outplaying the other, and so
yeah, I'm really happy Mohawk kept up their compete level. It could have been a very sloppy game for us to watch. You know, Mohawk could have gotten lazy. There could have been a lot of turnovers, and they couldn't have executed their plays. They still could have won it, but it wouldn't have been as clean of a game to watch. So I'm happy they were able to put their plays together, and I think Duffy's probably happy with how that game went for them.
I'm pretty sure Mohawk can't be anything but happy and pleased with a 55-point victory, over 100 points offensively, and at the same time we saw a great game from Steph Rymack in her 3rd straight game back, Jen Genabella again, and of course the new return of Shannon O'Neill. So they're getting healthier, they're still improving, and kind of getting now a win streak and like a little momentum behind them as they head into the playoffs. So this is the perfect time of year to have things kind of coming together finally for them.
I'm sure, you know, it's been a long time coming. They had a lot of injuries, and they were still pulling out wins with their injuries, but it's great now. They have a healthy team. Everyone's starting to get back into it. I think we still just have 2 players injured. So once everyone's back in the game, right close to playoff time, hopefully they can pull out the playoffs. And I know Duffy's goal is OCAA champion.
So a few games left, in the season for the Mountaineers. Pretty much looking to build off this win. Tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, they will be back here to face Cambrian. So going into tomorrow's game, I think we'll just have to pick up off what happened tonight.
Yeah, and so Christine has an interview for us. So what do you have for us, Christine?
Hey guys, I'm here with number 22, Shannon O'Neill. What a way to come back after your injury. Congratulations on the win. I see you've got the wrist taped up. How's it feeling?
It's feeling good. I don't think about it anymore, so I feel like I never broke it.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you had a good recovery. So I guess we can expect you back for the rest of the games now.
Yeah.
You must be starting to think about playoffs. What can we expect in the upcoming games?
The upcoming games are going to be a lot harder. They're going to be more intense, so we all just have to stay focused and just keep playing how we're playing.
Perfect. Well, best of luck to you guys moving forward. Thanks so much. All right, guys, back to you.
Thanks, Christine. So we're going to take a little look at the highlights from our game tonight, including, of course, Shannon O'Neill is one of the many Mountaineers that was successful in doing it both on the offensive and the defensive end of the court.